hopefully there won't be any strange events or big wars, or, they always resort to war in the final analysis.
Well, I agree with you, and that's the key intel. We can't wait till Jim's able to talk to some sources. But you can also see the Bilderberg mouthpieces more and more out in the open, trying to deal with the 24-hour news cycle. They're a lot more public. Bilderberg Group members in basically pushing the agenda, and undoubtedly within days of the meeting ending, we'll see their spin on what their real agenda is. But certainly they're gearing up to go into Iran. That's back on the front burner. Certainly they're using this whole Mediterranean thing with Israel as a new way to kick stuff off. The whole North Korean peninsula, the George Washington mega aircraft carrier going off the coast of North Korea. I mean, war is their only card right now, or giant false flag terror attack.
That's the downside to the wonderful awakening, is that they always, in the end, resort to what you just said, the only card that they can play without much interference, and that's the war card. And that's, I don't even have to go into why that's bad or how unfortunate that is. But, yeah, you have a rotating prime minister in Japan. They can't seem to decide on one. They have, of course, the BP spewing of the oil in the Gulf. They've got things that, whether they cause these things to happen, they've got things they can exploit. And so they've got a lot of variables, maybe, but in the end, you're right. War with Iran, as Jim Tucker has reported, has been a major Bilderberg goal, perhaps on behalf of Israel. Maybe there's an element there. And then the IMF as a world treasury, perhaps the World Health Organization as a World Health Department, maybe using some swine flu-like excuse or something. But at the same time, maybe war gets a little messy for them on occasion. Maybe they can only fight on so many fronts. Because they'll wake up the peasants even more. The media coverage has been the most heartening thing to see here. The police haven't been too rough yet. We still got about 3 days of Bilderberg to go, and we're going to be doing everything humanly possible to get accurate information and to try and get them to release some sort of press release, something, even put on a semblance of openness, although I know it's not real meaningful. But I think we need to force their hand on that.
Well said, Mark Anderson. I look forward to having you pop back on sometime tomorrow when you've got more intel of what's happening. We're going to work on getting Jim on coming up in the last hour, about an hour and 15 minutes from now, to get him to pop in. I know he's got jet lag and is exhausted and trying to make his way up to his room right now. So I'm going to put you on hold with my producer here in just a moment, so you guys can try to work that out, because you're there basically assisting Mr. Tucker. But before you go, tell folks how they can subscribe to the American Free Press and get all these detailed reports that'll come out in the next few days on Bilderberg.
Online, it's AmericanFreePress.net. That's AmericanFreePress.net. Call 888-699-NEWS. That's 888-699-NEWS for subscription information, or if you want to just get a specific insert or issue. And then you can get a 16 weeks for 1776 trial subscription during the holidays. Sometimes it's 16 weeks for $16. That's 4 months of the foremost leading national news weekly, and it's among the independent media like yours and Republic Magazine that is really trying to sort of dislodge the corporate media in America and show that there's other voices out there.
Absolutely. We're going to break here in about 2 minutes. I want to speak to you during the break, but I'm going to hand you over to Jaron right now. We'll talk to you again soon, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Alex. Appreciate it.
You bet. We'll get Mark Anderson on tomorrow or Sunday. Sunday might be the show live 4 to 6 p.m. Central. We do shows 6 days a week here if you just tuned in. Because so much happens over the weekend, I do a 2-hour abbreviated broadcast transmission because so much is happening. But maybe we should work on getting Tucker and Anderson on then as well, because then they'll have all their notes in hindsight and we can get some real intel, because things are just now kicking off. It starts officially Thursday. Some arrive on the Wednesday, and then they have the meeting Thursday evening, Friday, Saturday they play golf generally, and then Sunday they leave. And we always get valuable info from Tucker. There's other people go to the meetings and kind of get some good intel, make some stuff up. But there's other folks that get good information as well. But more and more, I mean, I'm just calling it like it is. Bilderberg is more about the spectacle of the elite trying to meet in secret, trying to suppress media coverage. The world government's now out in the open. And, I mean, now this isn't Jim Tucker 30-plus years ago talking about world government and digging through the trash at Bilderberg and sneaking in and getting key info. And that still happens. Now it's out in the open. A global constitution of the private central banks that you will pay carbon taxes to. And Obama is hell-bent to get this through, and he's saying, well, because of the BP spill, he's got to do this now. Because, they've had this problem, and because they can't seem to fix it, and just so happens Goldman Sachs dumped most of their, more than half their stock, just on BP, days before, and now Obama says, see, we need carbon taxes, we need an environmental takeover because of this oil spill. And then BP, of course, is the chief globalist oil company, one of the top companies that's at Bilderberg, owned by the royal family of England and the Dutch royal family of the Netherlands, in conjunction on record. This is one of the top New World Order operations. I mean, you watch my film, Endgame, Blueprint for Global Enslavement. It covers Bilderberg, their agenda, eugenics, the whole New World Order system. You watch that film, and you very, very quickly realize that these people absolutely must be stopped, and that they're not going to give us any quarter. And it's very important for everyone out there to get Endgame, Blueprint for Global Enslavement on DVD. That's probably overall the most important film I've ever made, because it gives you, in 2 hours and 35 minutes, the entire spectrum of what we're facing. We'll be right back with your phone calls and a lot more. Then Victor Ostrowski joins us.